All right, Hyros Nation, what is going on? This is Alex Becker, CEO of Hyros, and I think you know the deal by now. What I do in these quick trainings I send you every single week is send you the trainings that I found were the absolute key behind me scaling multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses on mostly AdWords, but a little bit of Facebook too. And in these trainings, I just tell you what I've learned from those lessons in hopes that you'll get enough value out of it that you'll probably want to track your ads with Hyros in the future. So that being said, what I want to show you right here doesn't actually have to do with ads, but it had the biggest impact on our ad ROI. What I'm going to show you how to do in this video is how to easily increase the price of your offers and, more importantly, get people to pay that price without lowering conversions and get people to actually complete their payment plans and even stick with your products longer or buy more of your products. The easiest way to scale your ads and make more money from your ads is simply people spend more money and your ads become more profitable. This is the absolute key to doing this, and I don't think this needs much of an intro. And after this video is done, if you want to see how I actually use this tactic to scale a business to 8 figures, just click the green button below. There's an entire training on all the ads, the funnels, the copywriting, everything behind how I scale a business to over $1 million a month in cash. And it's all broken down via that green button below. And also, I'm going to tell you straight up, there'd be no way I could have scaled to any of those points if I wasn't tracking my ads correctly, because when you're scaling, it's important that you have a profit margin. If you're investing in ads that aren't profitable and you're killing ads that are your most profitable, that's going to eat out of your profit margin and you're not going to be able to scale. It's just that simple. If you want to see how to stop that, just click the purple button below and it's going to show you step by step how to track your ads profitably. Nobody does this, and this is why most people can't scale. And if you click that purple button, it will show you how to do that step by step. It's really easy to do. We've done it for tons and tons of businesses. I've done it for my business. It's just essential. So I check that out when this video is done. So that being said, I want to show you exactly how to increase the price of your products right now, and more so get people to stick with your products longer and even complete payment plans if you're doing anything that's reoccurring or involves a payment plan structure. So let's hop into it right now. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to show you right here is the biggest boost we ever had in ads. It's the simplest thing we ever did that allowed us to grow the business. I don't even know how much. Made us millions of dollars. And it's the easiest thing you can do. Nobody does this. So let me tell you what it is instead of telling you how easy it is. I'm going to give you 4 things you can do right here that are going to make your ads more profitable and they're going to make them make more money, thus you can run more ads. If you just do these, here you go. So the first thing you can do when people don't buy your offer, it's very easy, whether you're running a webinar, if you're doing a sales call funnel, you can track the times of people that watch your videos. So whether you're using Wistia for a sales call funnel, if you're using a webinar, an EverWebinar, or ClickFunnels, you can track people who view a page for a certain amount of time. And you can even track people that watch your sales videos when they land on just basic sales video pages. So knowing this, knowing that you're able to see people, maybe you see a person who abandons a cart on your site, going and locating the people that have viewed your offers, this question set and sending this email to them is absolute gold, to the point where I would almost offer money for people to fill out this form. You can usually get away with offering them some type of bonus, maybe an extra bonus course you have, maybe a bonus product, something you can throw away. But you want to have an incentive, and a heavy incentive, to get people to answer this, because this will grow your business faster than a lot of things that you're probably trying that take a lot more effort. So what I would do on our webinars when we were scaling them up is we need to figure out why our target customer isn't buying. So all the time I see people say, my product's too expensive, people can't afford my product, and they have all these assumptions of why people aren't buying their product, and they're almost always wrong. I know that because my assumptions in the past have almost been completely wrong. So what I started doing is when people got to a certain point in the webinar, they had seen my offer, they got to the point in the sales video where they'd seen my offer, I sent them out this series of questions. What is your ballpark yearly income? Did you see the offer? Okay, because we want to know how much they make and if they actually saw what we were going to offer them. And did you find the price affordable and acceptable? And have you bought any similar priced products? So what we're doing with these first 3 questions we send them in the email is we're looking for yes, yes, and yes. And you can set this up in SurveyMonkey. You can set this up in any form tool out there. I'm not going to get into that because that's pretty basic stuff. Just go to Google and type in survey tools. So with this in mind right here, I'm not going to look at people that respond no to these answers. What a lot of people do when they're drawing conclusions is they look at the people that can afford the product, which is a small minority, but they're very vocal And then pay attention to those people. We want to find the person that can afford our product easily, saw our offer, and found the price to be acceptable. If we can find out where this person doesn't buy right here, we can find out their specific needs. This is going to allow the business to explode. I'll give you an example right in here. So with these next few questions, I discovered this about one of my products and took a product that wasn't really working well and made it a highly profitable offer. It made me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars last year. When I asked these people then in the email, why did you not take the offer? What could this offer include? Have you looked at or are you considering any similar offers? A lot of people, the reason why they didn't take the offer, the last thing was the price. It's because they didn't feel confident about certain things. For example, in this one offer, people were not confident that they could create their own products or that they could generate their own traffic. So people would say, I don't feel like I could make my own product. And then a lot of people said, what could this offer include? And they talked about certain things, but they always kept mentioning things about generating traffic. They didn't have a lot of confidence they could generate traffic. And then I also asked them, are you considering any similar offers? And a lot of the offers that they were looking at, they were all focused on ways to get organic free traffic. So what does this tell me? This is what almost every single person that could have afforded my product told me. It told me I need to focus on removing the obstacle of creating a product and giving an easy way for these people to get traffic. So what did I do? I basically went out there with this program and I made the first module of the program based around more affiliate marketing, which means it showed them how to get started selling other people's products. They didn't have to make their own product. And then what we also did in the product is I reached out to a friend of mine who had a traffic suite, basically generates free traffic for people, and say, hey, look, I'll send you these people. You give them a 2-month trial since they're buying our product, and of course, I'm going to train them to use your tool, and so you're going to get a lot of customers as well. He said, cool, awesome. So I was able to extend a 2-month trial, a really long trial to my customers with no extra cost. I included this in the offer. The offer absolutely exploded. The conversions doubled. It was super profitable with paid traffic. This is the easiest way to double your sales on your product. Ask people. Ask your target customer why they're not buying the product and then fix it. So many people are focused on their ad revenue. So many people are focused on little changes in their ad copy or some crazy type of YouTube or Facebook ad targeting. When the simplest thing you'd ever do is realize that you're marketing the humans and then just find out what they want and then give it to them. That's the basics of sales. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you right here that also works exceptionally well is fill in their big doubts. Okay, so this really ties into here. What you want to look for in these questions is you want to look for their big doubts. You want to look for the reasons where they don't think they're going to be able to succeed, because no one ever buys a product they don't think they're going to be able to succeed with. And if you can find ways to eliminate these big doubts, you're going to be on fire. One of our biggest problems when it comes to getting people on Hyros originally is people didn't think they could set it up on their own. They thought, hey, I can't set this up on my own. It's going to be a problem. I'm not very techy. It's going to take forever to plug this in, blah, 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 blah. So one of the ways we countered this is just offering done-for-you service at Hyros. When a person comes in, we just get their details and we can plug them in a day without them lifting a finger and show them a result. That right there, exploded sales. And when you do these two things, you find out what people really want and you find out where their doubts are at, you can increase the price. This allowed us to dramatically increase the price at one of our info businesses. It's allowed us to increase the price at our service businesses every single time, because then people go, oh, this is actually what I want. You're going to find that people really don't have a problem spending a lot of money for something that they really want and is exactly what they want. Now, I'm going to give you two other tips. Inside your programs and courses and software, and no matter what you're doing, you're going to see there's a point in your program. I would go through and watch your video watch times. I go and see people that refund and cancel payment plans on your products. And I'd see where these people usually stop watching your program at. Where do they not get to in your software? What are the trends with these customers who cancel their subscriptions? You can find that in e-commerce. You can find that in supplements or whatever else you're doing. But it's really easy to see in information in SaaS. And so at Hyros, for example, if a person doesn't see huge discrepancies in their Facebook ads, they usually wouldn't stay on board. Now, we figured that out really, really early on because we just track when people would cancel. And we go, oh, okay. So if we can get them to the point where they see a huge discrepancy in their ads, they're going to win. So our onboarding team gets them to this point. We grab the person when they come in and drag them to this point. We get them results every single time that way. Now, for example, at one of my very successful info businesses, HCOM, we saw that really where people were getting cut off at was week 2 in the program. And if people got past week 2, they completed their payment plans. If they didn't get to week 2, they did not. And so what we did is we front-loaded every process that we have, even the group when people come in, the emails that follow up. We have customer success agents that hassle people down who have not gotten to week 2 right here. And we basically grab them by the hand again and force them to this point. If you can identify in your programs where the point is that people usually start completing their payment plans and stop refunding at, and you can move this point forward, or you can just get rid of it altogether. This right here is going to increase your payment plan completion by 25%. It's going to lower your refund rate by 25%. Now, of course, these are rough numbers right here, but we've seen way bigger numbers than this, so I'm giving you the lowball numbers. Here's the thing. A lot of people are out there trying to find some magic ad system, some magic ad tactic or funnel to increase their business by 25, 50%, 100%. If you do these two things right here, which is figure out how to get the customer to use your product more so they see a result. By the way, people don't complete payment plans. They don't pay for products they don't get results with. So if you can actually get the people to the point where they start feeling like they're getting results, you can actually offer people the things that they think are holding them back and unplug those problem areas for them. You can increase the price of your product. You can get people to continue paying for the product and stay much longer. Imagine if people stayed on your payment plans twice as long. Imagine if people stayed in your recurring billing twice as long. Imagine if people were buying your product twice as much or paying twice as more. This is how you do it. It's not through some magic copywriting or being manipulative. It's figuring out exactly how the people are behaving when they use your product and what they're thinking when they view your offer. Now, the one final thing I'm also going to give you is the number one way to get people to pay more for your product is you get results. This is shocking to a lot of people. I'm just kidding. But you think looking at the internet marketing industry, it's kind of shocking to some people. But that's the ultimate key. And you have to realize that on the way to results, most people have obstacles. So, for example, I already talked about this at Hyros, but an obstacle a lot of people have when we first open up Hyros privately is when people came on board, they set up a thing wrong or two, and they just get frustrated, or they weren't super proactive about it, or they didn't know how to paste header code, or one of the things that would drive them wild is they'd have to zap in sales. And so there's these obstacles that we saw people were having. And if you look at most other softwares, their solution to this is like, hey, it's an obstacle, deal with it if you want results. That's pure debauchery. That's shenanigans on the highest level. What you want to do is you want to find out the key obstacles people are running into and just remove them. If you can just remove these obstacles right here, this is how you get people to stop canceling what you're doing. You rip these obstacles out so they get to this result right here. At HCOM, for example, one of the biggest problems people had is they could watch Matt, our head coach, build ads and find products all day, but when it came to them actually doing it, they'd always miss a few steps. No matter what they do, we would go through their stuff on live Q&A calls, we'd look at what they've done. There was always a few steps missed, and it's because remembering everything that Matt was doing was impossible, especially for someone that's never built a business before. So what we did is we created little checklist with timestamps into all the videos in the course of every step they need to go through when it comes to finding a product, building their first ad, this thing. And we made it step by step by step. And then through this checklist, we had them hop on live Q&A calls at certain points. We said, all right, go on a live Q&A call and have a coach sign off on this. So the biggest obstacle in HCOM we found was people just getting the process right. If they got the process right, they got results and they felt like they're making a lot of headway. And so this is one of the things we focused on most in the program. This was the big obstacle. Doing both these things right here super lowered the refund rates inside of HCOM. Another huge thing we did right here is people would just get lost in the program. They didn't know where to start. They didn't know really like where they should be focusing on. And so having a 24/7 customer success agent in there that actually knew the course, how the program worked, to help them find the videos that are relevant to them, help them actually spot the problems, that was the big breakthrough. And that allowed us to run ads so much more aggressively because guess what? All the people that are taking payment plans are suddenly completing their payments. Same thing with Hyros right here. When this stuff was right here, people were getting results in such a degree that, it doesn't even matter. When people come on, they see an instant way to save 30, 50% on their ad revenue just like that. Because we removed the obstacles. Slingshotting from shooting in the dark to getting a result, it just happens. And you have to identify those obstacles by asking your customers and watching your customers. You can watch that through their watch times if you're on the course. You can watch that using your data and your software. If you have, you should have access to a survey software. Ask people where they're getting lost at. Ask people why they're canceling, why they're refunding, what part of the program did they stop at. Watch the behaviors of people and listen to the desires. And your job really as an entrepreneur is to be a problem solver. It's not to sell people products. What you're doing when you get paid is you solve the problem. So if you can find the problems people are having and isolate those problems to the core problems. So for example, if a person says, I don't feel confident in making my own product, you can find a solution to that, which is not something they requested, by showing them how to find affiliate products and sell other people's product. When a person says, I don't want to pay for traffic, what they're really telling you is that they don't feel confident about their ability to get traffic in the first place, and that what you should think is, this guy doesn't want to pay for traffic. If I can find a solution to that, okay, I'm going to make an organic traffic software that's free and throw that in there, then that problem is going to be solved. So don't always directly listen to the problem the customer tells you. Don't just say, they don't want to buy paid traffic, so they don't want to buy the problem. Think of, how can I solve that? Where's the opportunity right here? Because this person doesn't want to pay for traffic, but they want traffic. How can I solve this opportunity? These 4 things, and I realized the first and second thing were kind of the same step, absolutely changed our business. This is the easiest way to make so much more money from ads. And that's it. That's absolutely it. If you want to actually see then how we actually use the ads, again, there is a training below that shows you exact training funnel and everything we use to actually scale the business past 8 figures using, this was a big part of that strategy, and that's covered in the training below via the green button. And again, you have to be able to track this stuff. If you're not able to track which ad audiences are giving you your best reoccurring customers, your best payment plan customers, and if you're not able to see the sales of your ads, which, I'm just going to tell you, if you're running a webinar and info funnel, it's going to be off by a ton. Even if you're running an e-commerce store, it's usually off by 30%. You can't scale ads when 30% to 50% of your choices are wrong. You just can't. And even if you are, it's costing you a house payment every single year. So if you want to see how to solve that, click the purple button below. If not, well, I'm going to see you in the next video where I'm going to be showing you an exercise that, when applied to my opt-ins and my ads, and I use this exercise to generate the wording, absolutely plummeted my CPLs. The cost to acquire customers so much lower than really anyone I know on YouTube, and it's because of how I structure the wording on my ads. And the way to figure out this wording is by doing this exercise I'm going to show you in the next video. So watch your email. We're going to be sending you another email here really soon. Make sure to white label it. Make sure to look out for Alex Becker, Hyros in your inbox. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this training. And if you want more tips like this, you want to network with other people that are making and spending a significant amount of money in ad spend, go below and join our Facebook group. You have to be spending a significant amount of ad spend to get into the group. There's no beginners in that group. It's not that type of group. And if you want to go into that group, just go below and I will see you there. So this has been Alex Becker, CEO of Hyros. I'll talk to you in the next video.